Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Common English Mistakes. Don't just learn, improve. So today we're going to look at a countable, uncountable mistake related to having people around you and the word company. It's something students often confuse, and there are quite a few nice phrases we can use with this word. We'll also look at the most appropriate word to use to talk about big groups of people. So anyway, the mistake is up here. My friend is fun, but she's also very practical. She's a great traveling company. So just pause the video, see if you can correct the sentence. And well done if you said, she's a great traveling companion. So a companion, countable, is someone or something you spend a lot of time with or do something with in a specific situation. Really, the two contexts I would use this are the example to talk about travel, and specifically this collocation, a traveling companion, or talking about animals. He doesn't have many friends, but his dog is a loyal companion. The reason I say only use it in those two contexts is because you would never say something like this. My friend always supports me. She's a really good companion. In this context, you would just say friend. So moving on to company, we use this a lot more. First, just make sure you know the difference between a company, countable. Microsoft is a very big company, and company, uncountable, the concept of having people around you. And often we use this in the context of have people around you to stop you getting either bored or lonely. So, for example, when you have a long car journey, it's nice to have company in the car to talk to not be bored. And related to that, it's going to be useful to use in the phrase keep someone company. So, on a long car journey, it's nice to have someone to keep you company. Or, my friend kept me company while I waited. And going back to the example of the man and his dog, he doesn't have many friends, but his dog keeps him company, prevents him from feeling lonely. That's where you're going to use this the most. Other examples, contexts where you might, asking someone if they want people around them. Would you like? Do you want some company? Saying you've invited people to your house. We have company this weekend. My sister is visiting. And then to say you don't want others around you. I don't want any company at the moment. I just want to be alone. Related to that, you have these useful phrases enjoy, prefer, your own company, to say you prefer being alone in a situation. These are quite useful because alone has quite a negative context, but these phrases are more positive. A positive way to say sometimes you just prefer to be by yourself. So that's how we use the words companion and company. Really, most useful there is a traveling companion or the phrase keep someone company. One of you asked in the comments, coincidentally, if you can use company to talk about whether you prefer big or small groups of people. The answer to this is no, but there is a good word to use in this situation. So we can say, I don't like big groups of people. I prefer smaller groups. But a nice natural word to use instead is crowd. I prefer smaller crowds to bigger crowds. And you can also use crowd to refer to a specific group of people, the same people every time, especially if it's a social context. For example, our son has been spending time with a different crowd, a different group of people. Or maybe she has been hanging around with a bad crowd, bad group of teenagers. And then finally, we can use the word crowd to refer to a big group of people watching an event. However, it sometimes gets confused with the word audience. Generally, an audience is going to be something listening or watching a performance, more arts, whereas a crowd is going to be watching more a sporting event. Also, an audience is generally quieter and a crowd is often a bit louder and more lively. So just pause the video and try to put either audience or crowd into these gaps. One of them, two may be possible. And well done if you said there was a big crowd at the football match yesterday. Some members of the audience were making lots of noise during the film. The crowd at the rock concert was incredible. Concerts can kind of go either way. I'd say if it's noisy, people are standing up, it's more a crowd. If it's quieter, just listening, an audience. And that's why it's better to say here, the audience sat in silence and listened to the pianist play. And finally, for a comedy performance, people are sat listening, but it's quite lively. So I think you could say both. Everyone in the crowd, everyone in the audience was laughing at the comedian's jokes. And then with these, to talk about individual people in the crowd or audience, you can use a member of. A member of the audience was making lots of noise during the film. Some members of the crowd were singing during the concert or football match. And if it's a sporting event, you can also say spectators. The spectators were all very nervous during the football match. So anyway, explanation over. If you are a viewer watching this video and you haven't done so already, do make sure to like and subscribe and join the ever-growing audience of this channel. Also, if you know anyone else who would find it interesting, please do recommend it to them. It would mean a lot. But anyway, when you're ready, let's practice and improve. Just pause the video and put a word, phrase, bit of language from today's lesson into these gaps. Remember, you might have to change the form of a verb. Past, verb ing, etc. And well done if you said, I kept my brother company while he waited at the hospital. My best friend was my traveling companion when I visited India, traveled around with me. I hate it when members of the audience make noise with plastic wrappers during films. Then I like to have company when I go for a walk. Football matches have the biggest crowds in my city. And finally, it's okay to prefer or enjoy your own company, just as long as you're not lonely. So now just pause the video and write, say, or discuss the same sentences for you. And finally, today's question, in what situations do people need someone to keep them company? So write your answers in the comments, guys. Always good to practice a useful phrase. Anyway, that's basically it for today. If you do have any questions related to this or something completely different, do feel free to ask. I'm always happy to answer them and it gives me good ideas for future videos. Other than that, I'll see you for another video in the next couple of days. So until next time, see ya.